business venture is Chisholm Holler ATV Campground. Are you suffering from cabin fever? It's a disease that affects most mountain folk this time of year. Well, if you are and you're looking for a cure, hop on your ATV and follow what we like to call the Hillbilly Highway to Chisholm Holler ATV Campground. We have the ultimate site to rest after a fun day riding the trails that Code Mining has left for us. We have a facility like no other in Eastern Kentucky. We have RV, tiny house, and tent rentals that let you appreciate the God-given beauty of the Appalachian Mountains. Now, before I go any further, I want to talk about, we know the grammatically correct name is Hollow, but in our campground, we want to show our culture through this and our roots. And in our roots, we call it Hollow, or Holler. It's our dialect. So that we will refer to it as Holler. And we want people from where we're at to know what we're talking about. Our goal is to combine our area's love for ATVs and the great outdoors to create an experience like no other in Eastern Kentucky. Now, on our site profile, we have a story. When we reached out to our community for information on our site, the feedback we got back was unbelievable, and we had a hard time picking and choosing what to present to y'all. Chisholm Co. Company ran from 1967 to 2002. Over the life of Chisholm Mine, 40 million tons of recoverable, high-grade metallurgical coal was mined. The steelmaking coal, or what Mackenzie's grandpa likes to call the good stuff, is what they found here. We like to think of it as when they found the coal here at Chisholm, it was like the Beverly Hillbillies finding oil. Chisholm Co. was a deep mine drift that mined the lower Elkhorn seam with a thickness ranging from 51 to 76 inches. If you want to think about how big that is, he's 76 inches. Today, only 17% of remaining mine seams is thicker than 42 inches. Now, Chisholm had international connections. They were owned by a Canadian company based out of Toronto, and they built 5 3-bedroom brick houses for people who would come in for business, and they refer to them as the company houses, but they're still known today as the Chisholm houses. We know people, they live near them, that live in these houses today that are in great condition. In the booming years of Chisholm, or the golden years, the mine ran over 1 million tons of coal each year. If you break that down, that translates to 4,200 tons per day. Transportation, all coal mined at Chisholm was shipped by train through Norfolk and Southern Rail through the Thacker 1 district. Chisholm's coal was transported to Lake Erie Port, where it was moved by ship to Hilton Works and Lake Erie Steel Company, owned by the Steel Co. Canada. The steel was made at Steel Co. Canada from Chisholm Co. and was sold to General Motors and Chrysler. Coal from Phelps, Kentucky was used to make Chevys, Cadillacs, Buicks, and many more. Employment information. Chisholm Co. Company was a union mine, and the workers were paid an hourly wage of $18 an hour. The last check numbered for union workers was 348, and the most working at one time was 240. There were 60 salary men hired at Chisholm, and the high salary was $65,000 a year. When this mine was in effect, it employed not only so many people in our community, but surrounding areas, and it generally included the entire standard of living for our area. Now, the things I did for our community, there's no possible way we could put it all in here. And it was extremely difficult to tell you what was put in it, or what to tell you. Chisholm Co. Company, along with Kentland, Elkhorn, and Kentucky Carbon, or King Car, helped build the first ever football field at Phelps High School in 1976. It was replaced by the new Phelps Elementary School that was built in its place in 2013. Our gym was actually built by another co company and not the Kentucky Board of Education. We're not really talking about that. And the impact on schools, once again, it was, you couldn't, no possible way to tell what they did for our schools. They donated many times, and one of the main things they did was they built a walking track, which is no longer there now, which was used for over 20 years. Gano Stiltner, who used to work there, and he's still a huge part of our community. And his wife was actually one of our athletic directors. If the school needed money for something, like feeding the ball teams or anything, they know they could call us to help out. A great community impact. The economy, they completely boosted our economy when they were running. from Robert Mauser, who was vice president of Chisholm, said Chisholm Co. spent approximately $1 million a year in the local economy through businesses such as gas stations, restaurants, and mine supply stores. And Vernon Collins, the one that owns the restaurant, says just the business from Chisholm and the money from Chisholm paid off his overhead. But all good things must come to an end. Our community has not been the same since this day. Since this coal mine has been out of business, it probably never will be unless something as simple and amazing goes into place. Welcome to Chisholm Holler ATV Campground. These pictures from our site we took on our drone from 107 feet to the ground. Our campground will be built on the former Blosser Reservoir. Our Chisholm Hollow campground site was once a beautiful mountain lake with over 55 million gallons of water that was used for the mine. And if you're a fisherman, some of the fishing in this lake was amazing, and we'll see kind of more as we go on. We couldn't get an actual picture of the lake, we tried, but we couldn't find it. And we never got the chance to see it, but from what we've heard, this lake was absolutely amazing. We also want to point out this picture and the sentiment around coal. If people look at what's left over after coal mining, you find pictures like this. But this is actually not what it looks like. What's left over from coal mining, we think, these amazing places and beautiful places. We have drone footage from our thing, and while we're playing it, we're going to go over our model. Okay, so one thing is you don't see any fences or like security here, but that's because you have natural boundaries. Now we have talked to the Pike County Sheriff's Department, and they do courtesy drive-throughs to make the campers feel safe, but there is one road in and one road out. As you come in, you'll come to the office. We have tent sites and RV sites and tiny houses. And this right here will be our recreation area. We'll have movie nights, campgrounds, or barbecues and things such as that nature. So once you come back from riding, you don't just have to go sit in your camper. This will be our general store. It will have all your basic needs. It will have some marketing things in there from us. And then this is our primitive tent sites. So for the people who maybe not have the money to have an RV, or if they just like roughing it, they will be in that section. You'll come in through this way, and then here's parking, and then here's a pump station where you can deal with your sewer, or it also is for washing your ATVs. We have two. You could kind of see it in the video in the main back. There is a main back expansion which goes this way, and there's amazing ponds. And then there's the hollow expansion. Right now what you're seeing is a campground based without Pike County Trail Systems. This is what it will look like. But if Pike County Trail Systems do go into effect, we would definitely need to expand this way.
Before we move on, we want to talk about the environmental review. My team and I are really into the environment, and we really don't want to put a negative impact on our environment. So we tried to contact a Kentucky Fish and Wildlife biologist, but who knew it would be like trying to solve Chinese arithmetic, and it took us a while. So we ended up contacting one by the name of Mr. Strunk, Mike Strunk, a Kentucky Fish and Wildlife biologist from the southeastern region in Pulaski County. He really gave us some good tips of what we needed to do to really counteract the minimal impact on small game and other animals such as turkeys that graze on the grassy flats due to the availability of secondary flats that exist around and beyond the proposed site. Mr. Strunk felt like the site would be a minimal disruption to the wildlife due to the low grass found on the site. He felt the grass would be needed to be at least 10 inches tall or above the fret ground nesting birds. As you've seen on the drone footage, it really wasn't above 4 or 5 inches, so it really ain't going to impact much. Also in our team's discussion with Mr. Strunk, he felt that because cover for wildlife wasn't affected, there would be even less of an impact. We would understand that ATVs are loud, and that people normally might complain about noise, but the location of our campground is almost totally isolated.
As many locals know, from strip mining to reclamation, there's a highway through the hills like none other. You can almost get from one side of the region to another without touching a grain of asphalt.
So the key to marketing is making sure that you get your story out on social media. And if you're like me, then you hear about social media all the time. You see it, you share it, you basically retweet it if you have Twitter. So one of our main key aspects in this is getting our story out. To make sure that we put it on YouTube, to make sure we just plaster it everywhere. Even if it means like making bumper stickers, magnets, calendars, whatever it takes to get our story out.
We also have brochures and business cards, and Mingo County is where the Hatfield and McCoy trails are. And since they put in that trail system, their county has just increased. So the already established businesses there, we will put in our brochures to get our name out there. When we learned that the biggest problem with Mingo County right now is they don't have enough places for people to stay. They have all these people coming from all over the world, and they're just not enough. Only, I think it was, 86% of the people that come to the trail systems in Mingo County are not from West Virginia. And they have a big group every year from Brazil to come. So we're reaching out to all these people and getting their names that we have a perfect place for them to stay.
So then we sat down and thought, well, what is going to sell this campground? Well, then we found out that we're only a few minutes away from a Breaks Interstate Park swinging bridge, which is still in the development, but eventually will become something that's very popular. Also, something that makes us stand out even more is Bad Frank Phillips' gravesite, because one of his body's buried in one grave and his legs buried in the other.
And we also want to throw out that no matter how much people tell you, the Hatfield employees didn't just happen in Michael. I mean, it is all, our community has so many Hatfield employee things, it's just not shown. Another thing with the stickers is every time you go to somewhere like Ron Jones or Yeti, you get a sticker. And you see these things plastered on everything. So every time you check into our campground, you will get a magnet. And we have different sizes of these, and they'll be on tackle boxes, cars, RVs, ATVs. And it's all about getting your name out there.
The lake may be gone, but there's so many ponds at the back of the property. If you like to fish, that'd be another good reason to stay at our campground. Mr. Jerry Hurley of Phelps caught this monster last year at one of the ponds. I guess you'd say it's good marketing.
And you know how people in your community are. According to them, they're saying figuring it out there. We don't have anything to prove it, but we're just relaying our community's message.
When we thought about how to go about this financially, we decided to go down to our local community trust bank to talk to one of our bank managers. She suggested that we got a small business loan of $300,000 to fund our initial campground plans and leave us with a working capital. We plan to use $30,000 of that for our electrical grid, which will include underground electric wires to keep man-made objects away from the beauty of the mountains. We also plan to use $32,000 for a campground sewage station to allow people to dispose of their waste, $20,000 for the construction of water lines to supply fresh water to our general stores and to our sites, $88,000 for a 1,600 square foot or 40 by 40 general store with bathhouses, and $75,000 for the construction of 5 tiny houses, minus $75,000 for labor provided by our carpentry students at our local vocational school.
On the 75,000 tiny house, we kind of want to explain a little bit because we felt we were the proudest about this solution. To get all this information, we went to our vocational teacher on our page, and he also is a former construction owner. He said it cost $75,000 for labor and $75,000 for materials. But every year they build a tiny house of their own, and they rely on this through grants. So every year it's not guaranteed they're going to do this. So we worked out a solution. If we pay for their materials, they will build the tiny houses for free. And show us this. These are actually really good tiny houses. And so it's giving the students a long-lasting thing. Like you can see, these are great condition, and they actually sell across the country. So these will be placed on our campsite.
Alright, we plan to bank or save as much of our initial profits as possible, or as we like to call it, the first year marriage strategy. Because we all know that first year of marriage is going to be rough. Everybody's arguing, you're trying to save yourself. We also plan to establish a rainy day fund for those off days, if there are any, which we doubt. And if business is good from the start, our saving our profits will allow us for those expansions that we talked about previously. We realize that not all businesses will turn a profit at start, but based on our entrepreneurial skills and goals, we believe we can. We also plan ahead to focus on paying off our loan with monthly payments for about 25 to 30 years, which would be about roughly that of a $300,000 house. As we all know, loans are made up of principals and interest. If we pay maybe 1 month ago, or maybe 2, we can start paying towards that principal and possibly get our loan off cheaper and quicker. And we also know stupid drivers, they'll make stupid mistakes, but we don't want to be accountable for that. So every camper that comes in to our campsite will be required to sign out a waiver form, just saying that if they are injured or their property is stolen, we're not accountable for it. In our competition, we believe competition is good for business, because that makes you strive to be the best. The closest place around here was Ashland, I believe, 3 hours away, but that's not even on historical sites.
We were actually invited to the Pike County Trails Commission in January. I was unable to attend, but what I could hear from my team, it was amazing, super beneficial. And they have actually GPS mapped. Trails in Pike County, and it actually runs right along our campsite. So, when we like to think when this happens, we will need for expansion, because the inflow of people from this will be completely amazing. And it's definitely worth the risk. Okay, our business plan is to lure riders from nearby Hatfield McCoy Trail, because like I say, they get all kinds of people. To use marketing through social media, and to create a base of local campers. We want this to feel like a community base and get them involved in our community. It'll be $75 a night for tiny houses, $30 a night for RV with water and electric, $20 for tent size water and electric, and $10 for primitive tent camping. We plan to have off-season rates, and you may ask if there's an off-season. While in the winter, the numbers may drop a little bit, it doesn't stop. We've seen this firsthand, and we have researched it. Because this is adventure tourism. People's looking for the adventure, and these mountains are beautiful in winter, and people will come to see that. And that's proven from Hatfield Trails.
Market analysis. The global alternative vehicle market size is expected to reach $4.8 billion by 2025. If you question the popularity of the ATVs, there are many local businesses that sell these expensive toys in our area. These are just to name a few.
You may ask if this is realistic, and it definitely is. I mean, we talk about doing other businesses like big, huge businesses all around these kinds of jobs. That's not even remotely realistic. For one, the road from Pike Phelps is one of the most dangerous in Kentucky. People will not travel that. And this is definitely a market. We've seen it in Mingo County. People love to do this. Our business model, we like to say, is stay where you play. And these are all the amazing people. Like we said, we reached out to our community during this, and the amount of support we got was, I have no words for it.
How far is it close point from where you're at sites?
I'd say within a mile to half a mile, not far.
ATVs in that area, you can run those on the road, no problem, is that correct?
Correct.
A recent bill, by Senator that our coach actually knew, passed it so side by side are now legal to be driven on roads. And I know people felt so hard rejoicing for that right now.
With your campsite, you're probably gonna have spoilers and side-by-sides going all over the place up there in your holler. Do you have any plans to, try to remediate, maybe like erosion or anything like that that might occur as a result?
To be honest with you, there really isn't any room for erosion, you know. The leftover profits that we kinda had, we're gonna put towards that matter. So, how much would we say we'd have left? A few thousand more? That would go towards our maintenance, towards landscaping or things of that matter.
Also, to elaborate on that, there's pre-established trails up there from where people already ride, and what's up over from mine, and most of them are flat, and we will put gravel down. So, there wouldn't be much erosion because it's already, the trails are already established there.
You said it would lure people from the competing trail, the Hatfield Way Trail. How would you do that? I'm not clear. What's your competitive advantage?
Well, we're not the ones putting in the trail. We're offering classes for people to stay. So we're kind of, if the Howard County trail system comes in, they'll can either ride that trail or go to the Hatfield Way Trail. These are just places for them to stay while they choose where they want to ride.
Yeah, this is more of a cooperation effect than a competitive.
How many guests do you anticipate to stay at your facility each year?
Each year. Let's say each tiny house will hold what, 4 or 5, 20 people per 20 with their tiny houses. Tent sites, they can fit however many they want. But per year, that's a big number because people are already having to sleep in their cars due to the fact that there's not enough lodging.
Yeah.
So it's hard to tell. It can fluctuate either way.
As you kind of see in one of our marketing features, either sort of having a McCoy Festival, Trail Festival, the amount of people that came to that was unbelievable. And all year, it's like a steady flow of people. Yeah, like I said, it drops in the winter months a little bit, but it doesn't stop. It is a steady flow of people. So we don't think